to our training today. Our presenter is Nadia Gilks, DTM. She is the inaugural Public Relations Manager for Toastmasters District 115 in Southern earned her first.
Michelle, your audio went really wacky. Oh, you started to come back in. Okay, that was odd.
Okay.
Sorry.
Nadia earned her first Distinguished Toastmaster Award in the traditional program and is now on her way to being DTM squared, nearing the completion of her Pathways DTM requirements. Outside of Toastmasters, she is an author, currently touring her first book. Woke Up Dead is the name of her book. She serves the community as a family law and estate planning attorney. Attending concert and Buffalo Bills games are her favorite pastimes. Here to present the Vice President of Public Relations Training Session, please help me welcome Distinguished Toastmaster Nadia Gilks.
Hello, everyone out there. Thank you so much, Michelle. I just realized as you were reading that I probably need to change that because I don't know what my favorite pastimes are going to be anymore. But when am I going to a concert or a Buffalo Bills game anytime soon? I don't know. And it's really hurtful because Buffalo Bills are actually coming here this year. So I'm like, don't think I can make that leap. Don't think I could see it. All right. I'm so excited to have you guys here today. I absolutely love officer training. I love getting you guys started on the right foot and excited for your year to come or 6 months, however long you're holding the role. So I'm going to start this out with a couple of polls. We do have everyone muted, but I still wanted to know who I'm talking to today. So I'm going to give you 2 questions in the beginning and then 1 question at the end. So if you could just tell me right now if you are serving in this role for the very first time, and we'll see what we get. And then if I don't have too many serving for the first time, I can breeze by some of that standard information because I did add some things of my own to this. So you should see a pop-up block on your screen asking you, are you serving for the first time? Yes or no? We've got quite a few yeses. So, okay, there's that. Congratulations to all of you serving for the first time. I think it really is one of the most fun roles that we have. And let's see, we've got 29 participants. So almost everybody has participated in that. So 16 yeses, 10 nos. So I will go ahead and share those results. So 62% of you for the first time. Congratulations. That is very exciting. And I have one more poll question for you. I want to know how many of you are brand new to Toastmasters? How many of you have been in Toastmasters less than 1 year? There's usually a good mix in these, so this is always fun to see. All right. Got 6 people so far that are saying they have been in less than 1 year. Welcome to Toastmasters. Apparently your experience has been great so far because you jumped into leadership. That is wonderful to see. So let me just share those results with you guys. And welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, so today we are going to go into the Vice President of Public Relations Training. That's a role that I've held several times, and I'm currently serving as the District Public Relations Manager. So essentially what you do for your clubs, that's what I do for your district. So when you see the emails go out or the Facebook postings go up or videos or me on the news, that's me being Public Relations Ambassador for our district, and you will do something similar for our club. I hate to use PowerPoint, but I kind of have to use it today. So, just bear with me because most of this presentation will be on PowerPoint, but you can adjust your screen and make the PowerPoint smaller so you can see the gallery or you can see me. So I'm going to go ahead and start sharing that with you now. And jump in and get started. For those of you that are brand new to training or Toastmasters, these club officer trainings are regulated by TI, Toastmasters International. They do tell us what we have to present to you, and we do have to hit at least 70% of that. So I'm going to hit that 70% early on. And then I've added in some things that I feel are important but not covered in their training. And then if we have time for the rest of it, I will add in that other 30% that TI recommends. And there is so much information in this PowerPoint that I'm really going to have you either put your questions in the chat, and if there's something really pressing that you don't understand, Michelle will shout it out to me, but we are going to have a Q&A session at the end. So I'm going to try to breeze by this in 50 minutes and leave you a good 10 minutes for questions. And again, if you have not already done so, please make sure you rename yourself. And especially if you're coming in from another district, make sure to include your district number in your name, along with your club name, so that when I run this report of who attended today, we can quickly identify and make sure that everybody is getting the DCP credit for their club. The agenda for today, I'm going to quickly go over the VPPR role, and then we're going to talk about your responsibilities. And then at the end, my favorite part, I'm going to give you resources so you succeed in this role. The objectives are to identify your role, how you fulfill your responsibilities, and where to find additional resources in addition to the ones that I'm going to give you during this session. So starting out, I'm actually going to ask you, because you put your name in the hat and you chose to run, I'm going to ask you what you think your role is. So you can start putting that in the chat, because that's coming up really soon. And I want to hear what you guys think that you're armed with doing today. So here's the club mission for you. And a lot of clubs start out their meetings by reciting it. So I have that here just so that you can have that in your mind. I also have handouts of all the slides, so you don't have to take notes of what's on the slide. Michelle will drop those in the chat periodically, so that if you just joined us recently, you can get the handouts. So if I say something outside of the slide, feel free to note that, but you don't have to write the slide word for word. This will be available to you. I also have a little snippet of the Constitution in here. And I just think that this part is important, because you need to know that you are the 4th ranking club officer in your club. So if for some reason you show up one day and you look around and your president and your vice president education and your vice president of membership are all absent, you are running that meeting. So you need to really be mindful of your club's format, your layout, how you do things, because it could be you jumping up, giving the announcements, welcoming guests. So you just need to know that you are the 4th ranking club. And I have been to clubs at times where the sergeant at arms is the highest ranking person in attendance, because everybody else has traveled to a district officer training out of state when we were merged with California, or something else is going on. So just be mindful. Don't think that you're sitting down there number 4 and you might never get called on, because you just never know what might happen. All right, so I asked you guys to put some things in the chat. I can't see the chat, unfortunately, when I'm screen sharing. So Michelle, do you see anything? I keep saying, yeah. Michelle, do you see anything out there as far as answers? What do you guys
I do.
roll? Okay.
We've had a number of replies. The first is from Orange Upon a Time. I can't quite see her full name, but
I love that name.
It's Susan Thompson, and
Okay.
Susan Thompson shared that she believes the role to be publicize club events and attract visitors. Stacy Burrell shared help promote the club. She believes the role to be. Linda Day Harrison stated marketing, social media, promotion of our club. Charles Eubanks, this is the 4th or 5th time in a row he has been VP of PR, and he actually understands Free Toast Host, which is wonderful. That's the website that Toastmasters provides for you to promote your club in the Toastmasters world. And he knows how to make their page look nice, which is incredible.
Perfect. I love it.
Yes.
And it is actually all of those things: publicizing the club, getting your name out, using the website, using social media. We won't talk about Free Toast Hosts here. I really feel like that needs to be a dedicated session. If you guys want that, I can always put one on later. But as Michelle mentioned, most of the clubs in Las Vegas use Free Toast Host. I know there might be some clubs out there that use Easy Speak. I can't help you at all with Easy Speak, but Free Toast Host is very user-friendly, and I do plan on recording something and putting it out specifically for that, but that's a whole hour session in itself. But yes, your role is everything you said it is, so we are going to breeze by your role because you already know it. Next, we're going to talk about your responsibilities. We're going to talk about what happens in the club meeting, what you should be doing outside of the club meeting. I'm going to break away from tradition here and put in my little own thing. And then if I have time, I will bounce back around to what happens in an executive committee meeting. During the club meeting, we're going to talk about before, on arrival, and then during the club. So before your club, this one is my biggest pet peeve. And those of you that are especially new or you're maintaining your Free Toast Host, if you don't take away anything else that I say today, take away this. Keep your club information current. You have a line item, a menu option on your website that says meeting information and directions, and you want to make sure that your address is correct there. You also want to make sure that your address is correct on any social media that you use. And of course, this is when we go back to the real world, assuming that we do, or even your Zoom number and the phone numbers that are listed under the Contact Us if you do have that link activated. I can't tell you how many times I've decided, oh, I'm off on a Wednesday afternoon, let me go visit a club. So I go to their website, I get the directions, I show up at a spot, and 12:05, I'm texting, I'm calling, and they're like, oh yeah, we moved 2 months ago. Do you want to update your website? Do you think I'm now going to try to drive to a new location and find them and show up 30 minutes late? No. So if people can't find you easily, you may have lost a member before they even walk through your door. So make sure at the very least that your contact information is always up to date. Another thing that you can do is ordering promotional materials. This is where you want to partner up with your secretary or your treasurer, whoever is in charge of ordering anything for the club. Anytime anyone orders anything from Toastmasters International, they give you free promotional items. You just have to look through the brochures and decide what you want. So make sure that you know when they're ordering, or make sure that they understand that every time they place an order for ribbons, for ballots, anything that you guys are ordering, put some promotional items in there, and you can use these items either to give out to guests as they walk in, or put on a Starbucks community board, or put inside your guest packet. So it's free promotional items. Take advantage of that. During the club meetings, there's quite a few things that you can do. Now, I always say that whoever sees the guest greets the guest. It is everybody's responsibility to make sure that whoever walks through your door feels welcome. Don't leave them standing by the door wondering, do I need to sign in? Do I need to check in with someone? What do I do? If you see the guests, greet them. Don't just say that's the VPM's role or the president's role. As a club officer, you are one of the ones they should be able to go to answer any questions, and you can greet them as well. Serve as presiding officer, as I mentioned, distribute materials. We're going to talk about public relations efforts later, but anything that you have going on, if there's a business meeting during your club meeting, give your report. If you need people to work on your committee because you have a big event coming up, or if you're running some kind of special campaign, that's your time to announce it. And you can always solicit volunteers for committees. I always say that no one person has to do their job alone. You can always solicit people to assist you. So if there is a big open house coming up, and maybe you want someone to do YouTube videos, or you want someone else to handle Facebook, and you're handling putting flyers out into the community, don't think that you have to do this job yourself. You can get volunteers, and getting volunteers is a great way to find your replacement when your term is over. Outside of the club, as you guys have already said, you're going to publicize, you're going to promote, you're going to do social media. I also suggest join Toastmasters moderated social media pages. We are very big on LinkedIn. You will find articles, you will find nuggets of inspiration. We have an official Toastmasters page on Facebook. You might want to join that as well. And then if you go on Instagram and do hashtag Toastmasters International, you will be open to a wide world of all kinds of Toastmasters events and postings that are going on. So link into some of those things and cross promote your club on those social media sites. If you want to produce a newsletter, great. We have a template. I did this for about 4 months when I was secretary, and I was like, that was quite a venture. I'd rather not. But again, if you have a committee and somebody just likes producing newsletters, you might want to charge them with that. Promote any membership programs that you have. So if you have a keynote speaker coming in for a special session, say Darren LaCroix is coming to your club, you want to promote that. You want to promote open houses. If you're having a speech craft that your club is sponsoring, an 8-week session teaching people about the ideals and how Toastmasters works, you definitely want to promote that to the community. So there are a lot of different ways that you can promote your club. And then lastly, attending club executive committee meetings, which I really hope you guys are having at least once per month. Doesn't always happen, but yes. And then attending other Toastmasters events. Anytime I go anywhere in the community, whether it's a contest or a webinar or any time that I'm attending something, if there's an introduction to be made, I also put my club name in there. As VPPR, that's just an easy way to get your club out there as well. Always introduce yourself with your club name, so people are like, that club name is interesting. Tell me more about that. What's your personality? What do you guys do? As I mentioned before, arranging your replacement. That always helps when you have a successor that you can train, you can tell what you've been doing, and they can jump right into the role and hit the ground running. Maybe you guys worked side by side with the person that you're replacing. At the very least, I hope you're able to get in contact with them, see what their efforts were, and see what you want to carry on, as well as making the role your own. This is where I'm going to depart a little bit from the Toastmasters curriculum and add in some things that I just feel are really, really important, especially for you guys, the VPPRs. Now, we did a lot this past year going around and having people cease and desist from using their own club logos, because we all really need to be using the Toastmasters International logo. Does anyone have any ideas of why that is? Why is it important? Why are logos important? You could go ahead and put that in the chat. And again, I can't see the chat.
I will be happy to share. Stephanie stated, keep branding consistent. Again, consistent branding, consistency. So brand is everything. It's overall.
It absolutely is. Branding is everything. So you see these logos on the screen and you probably recognize most of them. You raise your hand if you recognize these logos. See some hands raised. Perfect. I threw a little one in there. Don't know if many people will recognize the C. That will kind of tell me where you stand on the political line, but but these logos are important because they exhibit consistency. Now, if you go into a McDonald's anywhere in the world, you pretty much know what you're going to expect. You know people's taglines, you know what they stand for. You know that if you buy an Apple product anywhere in the world, if you don't understand it or you have a problem with it, you can go and there's a Genius bar. I mean, branding just tells you a lot about that company, and you can see that you don't even have to have words. Some are so popular that even a symbol tells you what you can expect from that company, because they build up a consistent brand. You know what Coca-Cola is bringing to the table. You know how they differ from Pepsi. You know what Pepsi is. You know, if you see the Amazon truck go by, someone's getting a present and they probably had Prime. So there's a lot that branding tells you. And Toastmasters wants to be that same way. We are an international organization, and it doesn't matter where you are in the world. If I go to Australia tomorrow and I look up a Toastmasters club, we're imagining we're in the real world here. And I've done this before. Australia, Toronto, wherever I visit, I look up Toastmasters and I pop into a meeting. And every club has its own personality, but I know that being a Toastmasters brand, I'm going to get a speech from someone. There'll be table topics that I might participate in. Someone's going to get immediate feedback with their evaluation, and then anything else the club does for their own personality and their own niche is just icing on the cake. But I know that Toastmasters is a communication and leadership organization where they are going to make me a better speaker. So when people had their own logos for their own club, it started watering down the brand because people didn't know, okay, well, is this a part of Toastmasters? Are you separate? Are you an offshoot? So we went through last year and had people stop using logos. It was really rough, but I say that to say if your club still happens to be using a logo, as the new VPPR, you're going to have to stop that. Now, we have a huge branding guide that is available for you on the TI website. When you go to the TI website, you can just go to that upper right-hand corner, click search, and type in branding manual, and this will come up for you. It's about 72 pages, but I have taken the most important 3 pages that I felt you needed, and I'm just gonna highlight them here. First though, because my computer is kind of wigging out a little bit. There, okay, had to get that off the screen. Thank you. All right, so first we're gonna go through what the pages that I feel are the most important. One, the branding color palette. We have specific colors that we use in TI. The ones on the top are our primary colors, and then we have some accent colors that are below. And again, this is going to be in your packet if you download this handout, so you don't need to write this down, but this is also in the branding manual. So anytime you go to make a flyer, if you start doing things on your own, if there's a graphic designer out there, or even if you go to Fiverr, because I'm not a graphic designer, so everything you see coming from me came from Fiverr. So all I have to do is give them these hex numbers and they go off and running, and I know whatever they make is going to be in the Toastmasters branding palette, because once you put these numbers, either the Pantone or the hex, into your graphic design program, you are always going to get that gray. You're always going to get that burgundy. So anything that you do, make sure that you are using our branded colors. So we have quite a few to choose from. And I know they could be, you know, gray's not that exciting, yellow's not that exciting, but just make the most of it because this is what we have to work with in our colors. We also have branded logos. Now you can use them several different ways. However, you do have some limitations. So I just wanted you to see these variations. We've got where leaders are made, we've got taglines, we've got little bars at the bottom that you can use, and you can put the logos in these 3 color schemes. These are all great things that you can do to vary your flyers and your promotional items. There's a lot of don'ts as well. So as you can see, there's an array of things that they do not want you to do. Do not distort the logo. Do not tilt the logo. Do not add different colors to the logo as far as inside the globe. Don't put different things inside the globe. Don't put your district number, your club name. That globe needs to say Toastmasters International. As you can see in the upper left corner, it needs to have the globe lines in it. Don't put tie-dye around it. Don't put any kind of lime colors around it. We need to keep the logo the way that we see it right here or on the TI website. In addition to colors, we also have a typesetting that we use. Now, most people will only be able to find Arial, and that is fine, but we have, in the order that they prefer us to use it, their text, and Gotham is our top option if you can find it. They used to have a kit that you can download from TI where they would send you their typography and you can add it to your word processing programs. I haven't been able to get my hands on that this year, so I'm not sure if they have stopped doing that, but I think Arial was kind of their consensus of most people can find this either on their websites or on their social media or Word documents. So if you don't have any of these other ones, go with Arial and you'll be fine. Go with anything that's outside of these norms and somebody probably will catch it. Okay, when it comes to photography, and this is something that I had to go through several clubs with during the course of this year as well, they have an image gallery for you, and you can actually see the link at the bottom, toastmasters.org/photo library. There are lots of images that they've already done photo shoots and crafted. So you could see images of people at a podium, you could see images of people in a club meeting, people at a webinar or web session. people in an auditorium. So you can always go through the photo library and use anything that is there in your branding and know that you will be compliant. However, if you go with the images on the right, those will not be approved. I had a couple flyers that I saw last year where there were martini glasses in the flyers. And it's like, I get it, you're meeting in a bar, but this is not branding compliant. So we had to take down for that reason. Or if you have images or cartoons in your flyers, that won't be branding compliant. And if someone from TI sees it or a district leader sees it, they're probably going to come to you and ask you to take that down. So just giving you an overview of what you can use for flyers, how you can create your flyers. I felt like it was important for you guys to see that there actually is a guide. And as the VPPR, you need to go buy it because you are the branding person for your club. We do have many materials, as I mentioned before, that are already branded for you. If you are not a graphic designer, if you don't know how to create your own items, we have a ton of items for you, and you can find them at toastmasters.org/stationery. We have flyers, newsletters, business cards, horizontally and vertically. We have agendas. You also have your banner. You can get a lectern. We have many things that are already branding compliant, and all you have to do is plug and play. I gave you our colors and our typography because, you know, when you see 60 flyers that look like the one in the upper left-hand corner, sometimes it stops being exciting. And I know there are people out there that want to make their own items, and you're very creative and you can do it really well. So just know that you do have a lot of freedoms, and you have the guidebook that gives you all the colors and typography to go by. But if worse comes to worse, just pop your information into a newsletter or flyer and the information gets out there. Here's a list of all the materials that TI has to offer, and it's a very wide range. You know, I didn't even mention like name tints and name tags for people that visit your clubs, labels for guest packets, or any information that you're handing out. Membership applications are already on the web, and a lot of them are fillable PDFs, so you can just have people fill that out on their iPad. And then we have websites such as Free Toast Host, which will come to you already in branded colors, and it's plug and play as well. If you need to know how to get a Free Toast Host website, if your club doesn't already have one, I can give you those directions, but there's volunteers that maintain the entire Free Toast Host system, and they will just put in your club number, start you off with the basic web page, and then you can go off and running, personalizing that any way that you see fit. And then again, last but not least, please don't forget those free items from the TI store. I mean, what's better than free promotional items? We also have social media cover art. So you can always go on TI and search that as well. So if you need a cover photo for your YouTube page or your Facebook page, they already have it sized, and you can just plop that in and be off and running. Two resources that I wanted to tell you about for those of you who have graphic designer aspirations. Hopefully you've heard of these before, but if you haven't, the top one is Canva. And Canva is a really great program that works either on your phone, your iPad, or online as a website. And Canva is a way that you can make flyers. I have a free account. I've used it for the district all year. And the great thing about Canva is that you can create an account. You can say, okay, this is for Toastmasters International, or this is for Valley Vices and Voices. And you can put in those branded colors right in your account. So anytime you go to make something, you're already telling it, I need to be using these colors. And then you can choose the type, the font, and put that into the account as well. And all you have to do is pick a design and then personalize it, and the colors are already there for you. Or if you want just a blank page and you want to design something yourself, there's almost endless options in Canva where you can create personalized flyers to advertise the events for your club. It's going to be branded because you're using our color scheme. You put it right into your account, and you could be off and running in like 5 minutes if you're good at it. I know people that create a flyer in 5 minutes and it looks phenomenal. I create a flyer in 5 minutes and it looks like a 1-year-old created a flyer in 5 minutes. So that's why I go to Fiverr, but it's a great resource for those of you who are creative and handy. The second one is called Ripple. Ripple is the same idea as Canva. You can have a dedicated account for your club. You can go ahead, put the branded colors in there, put the branded font in there. And this allows you to make videos up to 1 minute. And both of these options are just great to add content to your social media. So if you have a club member that's achieved a new level, maybe you want to make a little video of them receiving their certificate. Or if you had a guest speaker, maybe you want to do a 1 minute snippet of their speech to entice people to say, oh, they have great people coming through. Maybe I need to visit there. Whatever little videos you want to make, 1 minute actually gives you quite a bit of space to do a lot with. You can put it in there. You can have the branded colors on the side as a border. You can have the branded font in there and create great pieces for your club to use all over social media. So I wanted to give you those 2 items just to produce your own for those who are really creative. I've got some social media tips. Great, I'm right on time. Social media tips, I'll just go through with you really quickly. The first one, this isn't even about social media. This really is just about anything in life. If you want to succeed at it, you need to be consistent. So if your club, say, starts a YouTube page and you want to highlight speeches or put pieces of your club meeting there every week, or if you have a podcast and you're interviewing your club members and you say, I'm going to put out something every week. If you have an audience that you're building up and you've given them an expectation that you're going to post something on a certain schedule, then you need to be consistent and continuously post on that schedule. It might be difficult to build up an audience at first, but once you do, you need to be reliable. You need to do what you told them you're going to do. So if you're going to use Facebook or Instagram, I would try to make at least a daily post. And I think Dorothea, I think I saw her in here. Her club is really great about this. Dorothea does like a word of the day. We all have a word of the day in our club, right? So she posts on her website every day a word of the day, and then she encourages people that are following to use it in a sentence. You could do words of inspiration. You can do rough medley quotes. It doesn't have to be anything harder that you have to come up with. But when it comes to Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, those really thrive on daily postings. So find something to post on a regular basis. And then when it comes to podcasting or YouTube, that could be once a week or a couple times a month. Doesn't have to be as extensive. Number 2, fill out your profiles completely. So anywhere that you're adding your club information, whether it is Facebook or Instagram, make sure that you're filling out the complete profile. Any space they give you to put something, put something. So you can add your address, you can add your meeting times and days. Make sure that people have as much information as they possibly can. And then cross-reference your sites. So on Instagram, they give you in the bio a line to put one web address. So lead people back to your club address. When you're on YouTube, you can put unlimited amount of information in your description. So put all of your other social media links there. So if people are interested in you in one area, they might want to check out other things that you're doing. And this is really in and out of the club. Like you can use this for your personal business, or you could use this for your club, or just to build yourself up. Go live whenever you can. So Twitter, actually, I don't think it's Twitter. I know that Instagram, Facebook, both have live options, as well as YouTube. And that's just picking up your phone and recording yourself in the moment and streaming it to people in real time. When you go live, that raises your page in the algorithms so that they start showing your page in feeds more often. The more you do it, the more they love live content, and so they will promote you. So you will show up more regularly on Facebook and Instagram when you're going live, and they'll even promote this person's going live. People are craving content right now. We all want to see live stuff. So maybe you want to do a speech live, just to let people tune in that might be sitting on their couch in Facebook. And then at the end of it, you can invite them to join you in person next time. So it's a great marketing tool. Engage with your audience. Anytime that you post anything anywhere, if someone writes a comment on it, respond. Maybe they have a question, answer their question, or maybe they're giving you a compliment. Go back and say thank you. Don't just post something and leave it and don't go back to see what people said. Those people that are engaging with you are showing interest in you, and they could be your next member. So engage with them and let them know that you appreciate their interest. Tap into what's trending. So if there's a big topic going on and you're giving a speech about it, or your club meeting that day has something to do with a current event, you want to highlight that, because people search for what's trending and they try to get more information on it. So if you're doing a speech that has something to do with the elections, I saw Michael Moore in here, he's with Republican Toastmasters. Maybe he wants to highlight, hey, we're having a mock debate and one person's going to pretend like they're running for president and somebody else is going to pretend like they're, another candidate. If you're having something that's tapping into what we're doing today, advertise it, because you will draw people in, because people are into what's popular. Understand the personality of the platform that you are using, and every platform has its own personality. And I would not suggest any of you go out there and try to use all of them. Pick the 2 or maybe 3 that you like the best and focus on that. Whatever you focus on and really spend time creating, people are going to eventually be drawn to you. And once they get to know you and know your club or know your business, then they will find you wherever you are. So you don't have to find out, well, which one is the best one? I just need to be on that one. The best one is the one that you're going to like and use. So Instagram, it's 90% pictures. People don't go there to see what you wrote. They go there to see your pictures. Yes, you can put a caption, but you're not going to write a novel on a picture because no one's going to read it. So, Instagram is about pictures. Facebook is about stories. YouTube is all video. People go there to see a video. Yes, you can write a description, but don't write a book, because they're not there to read. They're there to view. Twitter, 280 characters. That's about 2 sentences for me. So again, you're not writing a novel on Twitter. People are coming to get quick snippets of the news. I don't really know what people use Pinterest for. I use Pinterest to find pictures of pink, Buffalo Bills, and recipes. So I don't know how you would use Pinterest for your club, but it's out there. If you can figure it out, more power to you. And LinkedIn is essentially Facebook for professionals. So that's another great one to use, because Toastmasters is really big on there. They post articles regularly. They post tips. They post training sessions. So linking your club into the Toastmasters International Organization could drive people to your club that way too. Understanding the power of hashtags. Hashtags are a great way to group stories together, because there are people that actually just search for hashtags. So like I mentioned before, if you went to Instagram right now and just in the search bar typed hashtag Toastmasters International, you will get thousands and thousands of pictures from people that have posted a picture, put that hashtag on it, and it might not even be someone that you're following, but you're going to see it because they use that hashtag. So you want to use as many hashtags on all of your pictures as you can, and just make sure that your hashtags are true to what your picture or your story is about. So if somebody gave a speech on home buying tips because they're a real estate agent, you might do hashtag real estate, hashtag home buying tips, hashtag Toastmasters International, host and hashtag real estate agents, or what have you. And somebody searching for that hashtag could find you even if they're not following you initially, and they will go into your page, see the other things that you posted, and if they like it, they may start following you. One thing about hashtags that I didn't put is it all needs to be together, no spaces. So even if you're typing out a phrase or a sentence, put hashtag and whatever the phrase is, no spaces in any of it. The minute you put a space, it breaks up the hashtag, and then you're gonna have like have a partial phrase or whatever. So make sure there's no spaces in your hashtag. And then tell a story. We all like stories, right? That's why we're in Toastmasters. Like, you don't want to see somebody just jump up and give you information, kind of like this presentation. You would rather hear a story about, why is this important to you? Why did you choose this career? Or, how did you feel when your parent passed away and you were caregiver? Or I've given that speech a gazillion times. Just whatever it is, it's one thing to sit up and say, oh, I battled diabetes and I overcame it. It's another thing when you tell us like the symptoms that you went through and how your family responded. And we like details, we like stories. So make sure whatever you're doing, tell a story. Social media, in your club, make it engaging. And the last one, use social media management. This is great if you do choose 2 or 3 different types of social media. The management sites just let you sit down, go into one account, link all of your social media to it, and you can actually post from that one page. So you don't have to log into Facebook every day. You don't have to log into Instagram. You can log into, I'll just say Hootsuite, because that's the one I use. I have about 5 accounts linked to it. So I can just sit on a Sunday afternoon and I can plan out my content for the week, and I can actually schedule it so that I don't have to go every day on social media. And another thing that I can do is I can interact with any comments. So again, I don't have to go to Facebook to see the comment. It will show up right in my account, as does direct messages and private messages. It also will show you analytics. So if you want to keep account of how you're growing and how you're doing, it will show you over the course of several weeks how many people joined your page or started following you. It will show you which posts were the most engaging, the ones that people like the best. And that will just help you in the future to fine tune your postings to what people have told you they like. So social media management is great, but again, you don't want to forget to go back and engage with people that posted with you. It just makes it really easy to do it from one website. So think about that. A lot of these will give you at least one account for free. And sometimes if you want 3 or more, you might have to pay a monthly charge. So it's up to you and what your club can afford. But again, the club environment, or if you're selling yourself or you have a business, this is great for all areas of life. Okay, so a quick little breakdown on corporate clubs, because I know corporate clubs are different. I don't want someone coming in from a corporate club saying, we can't use social media, so you just gave me a whole bunch of nothing. So I think I saw someone in here from Saywat. I see NV Energizers. I'm not sure if that's a company, but I know that some companies are really strict. So I just wanted to give you some tips of how you can still promote outside of social media. And the biggest one is, most of the companies I go in, they either have TVs that are flashing announcements or they have community boards. So see if you can get with the person that maintains that and see if you can add an advertisement for Toastmasters International. If this is something for the employees, that's a benefit that's offered by the company, or they allow you to meet inside the company corporate offices, then they should let you advertise. So try advertising on your company boards. That will be the first suggestion. I would get with HR and see if you can put some of those free promotional items in their new member packets, their new employee packets. If this is, again, a benefit that is put on by the company, there's a lot of companies out there that actually pay the dues for their club members, then they should be willing to promote this club so that they get more members involved, so that they are growing more leaders who will take on leadership positions within the company. On club days, wear your pin, wear your badge. That's a conversation starter, because people who might not recognize it will say, well, hey, what's that? Yeah, I have a Toastmasters meeting today. Yeah, we have it right here in the lunchroom, whatever. Start up a conversation that way. Those marketing materials that you get from TI, whether your secretary is ordering them, your treasurer, if you guys give out ribbons for best speaker, best evaluator, best table topics, display those things at your desk. If you won a contest and you have a trophy, put all of that at your desk. Again, that's just a great conversation starter without you having to be too aggressive or go on social media or some other way of advertising. People walk by, they ask you about it. Who doesn't like a trophy? They ask you about it, and you could start up a conversation about Toastmasters. If you have inter-office email, add a line about Toastmasters in your email, probably serving as VP PR of NV Energizers. Somebody might say, well, what's that? Why is it on your company email? Oh, because we meet right here in the company. And adding your Toastmasters affiliation to your LinkedIn profile. Because we have such a huge presence on LinkedIn, if you're added there and most of the people in your network are your coworkers, they may again ask you, well, what's this Toastmasters thing I see you linked to? And again, it's a conversation starter. So spread the word around your corporation. Doesn't necessarily have to be social media. I know some companies are very strict on that, but just know that you do have additional ways that you still can market your club and make it strong within a corporate setting. Now we're jumping back into that Toastmasters International required information, and I'm going to talk really quickly about the executive committee. So you are now part of an executive committee. There are 7 of you, plus the immediate past president, that make up your club's board. And you really should be meeting once a month. There are certain things that you should be talking about in your meetings. That's a time where everyone should be going around and giving the reports on what they've been working out through the month. Or if you have ideas of something for the future event, you would discuss it and vote on it at that time, proposing new ideas. And you also should be working on a club success plan, and every board should be crafting one of these. Now, I would suggest that you look at the one from your previous board if they did one, see what their goals were. But this is a document that says, what do we hope to achieve during this term? How many educational awards do we want to receive? How often are we going to publicize? What avenues are we going to use to publicize? How many new members do we want to sign? What is our membership goals? What is our DCP goals? How are we going to get there? Who's interested in new leadership positions for the next go round? You can find the club success plan on the TI website. And what I did when I was president is I actually separated out each part, because there really is one part for each board member, and I gave them their dedicated part. So the part that talked about how many educational awards are we going to achieve as a club, I gave that to the VPE and said, go forth and prosper. Let me know what your plan is. The VP of membership, anything that had to do with the growth and the strength of our membership, I asked them, what's your plan? And then we met the following month, talked about our parts collectively, and put that together as a club success plan and signed it. In the traditional path, you did need to complete a club success plan to get a DTM. I don't believe that's required under Pathways. However, I still think it's an important document for you and your co-board members to discuss. Your action plans. Hopefully by now you've gotten some ideas of how you can fulfill your roles and responsibilities as VPPR. If not, then I have done a really bad job this hour. When will each action be completed? Who is available to help you? And what materials and resources you can use? So hopefully you've gotten that out of this training so far. And let's talk quickly about resources that you have at your disposal. Now, the first resource is why we're all here today. This is your district-sponsored club officer training. We do this twice a year. So those of you that only have a 6-month term and you have a new board coming in January, we will offer another training in January. And for those of you who may be in your role for a year because you meet every other week or once a month, you can still come back in January and get a refresher. There's lots of materials you can read on and off the website. Meeting with your outgoing executive committee. If you can't meet with the entire committee, at least try to meet with the outgoing VPPR. Again, just to see what they initiated, what you may want to do moving forward, or if you want to start something new because maybe you've thought of things that they didn't try, at least you will know what efforts were already tried, what may have worked, what didn't work, and maybe you just want to tweak something or start something new. Meet with your current board, of course. As I said, I hope you're doing that at least once a month as a group. And invite people to serve on any committee that you form. And that just takes the entire burden off of your shoulders. Because really, as VPPR at your club level or even at my district level, it shouldn't be left to one person. Everybody who's a board member should be putting something on their Facebook page about their club, because you all are the face of your club. So make sure that your board knows that they need to be advertising as well, and get yourself a committee so you're not the only one doing social media or YouTube videos or newsletters. If you spread it out, you can try more things and get your name out there a bit stronger and faster. Order materials when you can. Solicit articles for the website. A lot of members like to write, so if you have some writers in your club and you want to feature an article either on your LinkedIn page or your club page or on Facebook, see if people want to write articles and do like a member highlight once a month. People love that. And develop a media list if you can. If you're having a big event and maybe you want a reporter to come by, or you want to highlight something special that you're doing, having a media list at the ready is great for just helping you get the word out there. These are the resources that are offered from TI. So again, You have the handout. All of these are on the back of the handout, and you can either type in the name of the item number, or go right to the website. And all of these are really, really great. You've got that branding guide that I mentioned before. You've got the PR corner, which gives you great things like a PR calendar, so you can schedule out when you want to post certain things and what you want to highlight. Distinguished Club Program and the Club Success Plan, item 1111. Very, very important. If there's someone here who doesn't know what the Distinguished Club Program is, ask me, because I don't know what you don't know. But we're all here today in part to get our 1 DCP point for having club members trained. So you're already starting off on a good foot. But all of these resources are great, and they are pretty much specifically geared towards your role as VPPR. So it's very important. And these are here for you at the ready. And now, a minute and a half early, do you have any questions? And you can raise your hand. Michelle, I see a hand raised. Crystal Perils from NV Energizers has a hand raised. I don't know if that was accident, but if anyone has a question, just raise your hand or wave or unmute yourself. Here's my contact information. So if you guys want to screenshot that, or if you download the slides, it's available later. And now I will stop sharing so you can actually see me.
Before we go into questions immediately, we did have some questions throughout your presentation, so I would like to go ahead and share those on behalf of those who posted them.
Perfect.
The first came from Christina Stefan. She would like to know where the newsletter templates are.
That was under stationery, like toastmasters.org/stationery. So you're going to find flyers, business cards, newsletters, and all of it is plug and play. Like there's already a template on there, and all you have to do is put in your club information. So any of those things, the flyers, the newsletters, the business cards, they're all under stationery.
Perfect. Our next question was from Dorothea Delby, I believe. Can you share photos of people in your club? And others had that same question.
Yeah, if you do your own photos, that's fine. Just make sure that it is family friendly. They don't want to promote anyone with alcohol in their hand. You saw that extensive list that was in the branding guide. So no alcohol, no animals, no cartoon characters, nothing like that. But if you have somebody that's getting an award, of course, we want you to take pictures of that and post it. Or if you have someone doing a speech, you can take a video or take a picture and post it. I'm really careful because I know that a lot of clubs meet in bars, including mine. So we're normally not taking pictures of like the table with a bunch of drinks on it. We're focused to the front where it's just the person standing by the banner.
Okay, thank you. Our next question is from Anita de la Croce. Can you put Ripple videos on YouTube?
Put it everywhere. So you can put them on. The Ripple is so great because it will automatically link to Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram if you let it. And if you have an Instagram account, Instagram only lets you post 1-minute videos unless you have some upgraded account. But most of us with a basic page can only post videos up to 1 minute. And that's kind of why Ripple was created. You can also put these on YouTube. You can, once you create a video, save it to your phone. It'll say save to photos. That'll go to your phone. And then you log into your YouTube account and upload it. I think 1-minute videos are really quick for YouTube. People do have a short attention span, but if they're going to YouTube, they will give you like 2 or 3 minutes. So you don't have to make a video that short for YouTube. This is really great for Facebook and Instagram where people just want something really quick.
Perfect. We also had some questions about releases and release for guests and members to include their image. We need to, do you want to address that for those who are new?
Yes, that is also on TI. You can do a photo release. A lot of people do it at the beginning of their term and just kind of do a blanket one, putting the dates of your term in there, or maybe you want to do it for the entire Toastmasters year. I know that I'm also a member of Jackpot, so we do it for the entire year because our board serves for a year. So see again what your board has already done. If they've already got releases on file, then you just need to do the new members and the guests. If they don't have anything on file, then just go to TI, type in photo release in the search bar, and then you can distribute that to your club. Accept it back that day. Like take it that day. Don't let them take it home and say, I'll bring it back. Take it that day. Otherwise you'll never see it again. But yeah, I don't do photo releases anymore. My pictures everywhere, but I understand that some people still want to do that.
Okay, we have a follow-up for the club member photos. They want to ensure that we can use those on Toastmasters branded flyers and have them
Right.
be acceptable.
Yeah, yeah. If you're advertising your open house coming up, if you have a guest speaker coming up, if you just want to put something on Facebook saying, you know, Nadia Gilks just got level 3. Yes, you can post those things. Just make sure that all of those don'ts are not adjusting your photo. So, you know, nobody with alcohol is the main one that I've seen them really crack down on.
Okay. Is Hootsuite free for management? Is Hootsuite free?
All of those accounts that I listed will give you at least one account for free. I've done Hootsuite and later. Hootsuite you will pay if you have 3 or more accounts linked to it, I believe, but you will get one account for free. So say you want to focus on Facebook and manage that one from Hootsuite. I pay for, I don't know, I pay $45 a month. So I think I have like 5 or 6 accounts linked, but you can get one account for free.
Okay, we did have a couple of comments as well. Irene King stated Twitter's live option is Periscope.
Okay.
So you can go live through Periscope. She's not
Okay.
sure if it works for Zoom, but it works for Twitter.
Okay.
Also, we have, Meetup, Linda Day Harrison said, Meetup and member referrals and open houses seem to be most effective for her, for new
Meetup
members.
is really, really great. I don't know if all of you are using Meetup, but it's a great website. I wouldn't necessarily call it social media, but if you're, I've used it when I'm just moving to a city. If I want to find a group that's doing something that I'm interested in, like hiking, photography, podcasting, you can pretty much go in there and put in any topic, and it will give you a list of groups that are meeting in that area. So a lot of people have used it for their club for speaking or personal development or leadership skills, and a lot of people are finding clubs through Meetup. So if your club can afford it, because I don't think it's free for business, I think I think it's $90 for 6 months. So there is a little bit of an expense. And what I have suggested people do in the past, that if you yourself can't afford it, maybe you want to partner with 1 or 2 other clubs and you guys split the cost and you all advertise your clubs under that one account, just to make the best use of it. Because you can put, I believe, unlimited meetings under your account, but just for being a business account, it is going to charge you. And I don't think they accept 501c3s and give us a free account for that, because even the district has to pay for that. So
Is D115 creating a Meetup account for all of the divisions and areas and clubs to use, or no?
It's right now we don't have one for all the clubs to use. I've tried to do that for like the past year.
Right.
Kristen may do something different, but I honestly, I don't think so right now. I know that some division directors went on their own and created one for their division. So before you do one for your club, you may want to check with your area or division director, because I think like A and maybe one other division had one for their division, but the district for club events, no. For district events, yes.
Okay. Are there any suggestions to have corporate clubs go community or to authorize it? We actually had, I think someone had stated that they were a corporate club, Nevada Energy, that they were a corporate club and they are open now to the public.
I've
Do you have
never
any
known
suggestions?
NV Energy to be a corporate club. They meet in a corporation, but as far as I know, they've always been, because that was one of my area clubs a few years ago.
Okay.
But what your club is able to do is really going to depend on your management. So there's no one answer for corporations. I know like Vegas Speakeasy that meets in AAA here in Henderson, they don't allow other people to come into the building from outside. So that is a corporate club, because they're not going to allow it to be a community. Say what, as of right now, is a corporate club. A lot of corporations may change that moving forward, not wanting people from the outside coming in because it's a coronavirus risk. So you're really going to want to talk to your management. There's nothing on the TI side that prevents you from doing that. The only thing that would be a hindrance is if your corporation is paying for members, paying their dues for the members. I don't know if they can still pay for their members' dues and have people from the outside paying for themselves, because then it's kind of like, you know. So I think it either has to be corporate and you're going under your supervisor's guidelines, or you're opening it up to the public, but that may also mean you're now paying your own dues.
My home club does both. It's a corporate sponsored club, but we are open to the community. So they
Okay.
pay for the
Oh,
employees.
okay. I wasn't sure that they could do that, but
It looks
so
like
yeah.
yes.
Okay.
I'm going to go ahead and allow Crystal, if it lets me, Crystal, I'm going to unmute you if you would like to go ahead and ask your question or comment. Hold on. Okay, you should be able to now.
Yeah. Yeah. My question was about our club. Our club used to be a corporate club, but we sorry, I got distracted by the question that popped up. We're currently accepting outside members, and so I wanted to. As far as I know, we don't have any social media accounts. Is there anything I need to know about starting our social media account? Like, do I have to link it with like the international club's Facebook page or anything like that?
No, you don't have to link it. What I would do if you're starting social media for the first time, I would say create an email account that's dedicated to your club. So, you know, if it's nvenergizers@gmail.com or what have you, something that's not necessarily tied to a person, so that you've got a dedicated email address, because you'll need that for every social media that you launch. So I would do that. Certainly if I'm on Facebook, I would, as the club, you know, doing things under your club's profile, I would like the official Toastmasters, and I would like the Toastmasters resources page, and I would like all of these things dedicated, but you're not required to link to them. But it's a good idea to do that, because you may get some additional members that way. Like I said, I was on official Toastmasters and somebody specifically asked, hey, I want to practice my Spanish. Are there any clubs out there that meet in Spanish? And I was like, oh, gente de voz. And I put their information in. So you might not see those questions and inquiries if you aren't linked to the different pages.
Okay.
We do have a few. I'm sorry, Crystal, are you finished? I apologize.
No, yeah, I'm good. Thank you very much.
Okay, you're welcome. We do have a few more questions, but before we address those, Janelle Marie, I need you to please change your name to include your club.
Okay.
You came in a little bit late, and we don't know which club you're from.
Oh, I love Janelle.
Okay, so you know her. Okay.
Orange Upon a Time. Where is that? I just love that name. I'm like, are you in Florida? Are you in California? Are you in Orange Grove? Where are you?
Okay, then I'll let you keep track of that. Our next question is a follow-up to the permission forms. You need individual permission from members to post pictures with them?
Preferably, yes. That is the release form, because it's not just about you posting it. When we have those releases, you'll notice that TI can happen to see something that you posted, like it, and use it in their promotional materials as well. So you want to make sure that you have a release so that your club and TI is covered before you post someone on social media. And ask them, like, there are people that have certain requirements. Like, you know, in my club, we had a person in the military, and he let us know anytime he's wearing his uniform, please don't take a picture. We have another woman in my club who used to be a bounty hunter. So she does not do any social media at all to protect her identity. So make sure that you are very clear on who does not want to be a part. They do have that option. And a lot of times, if you're having special events like an open house where you're taking group photos, you have to be mindful of keeping them out, or maybe possibly putting them in a dedicated area, just so that you're not posting people that have expressly told you they don't want to be a part of social media.
Speaking of releases, I neglected to mention at the beginning of this training that this has been recorded. So I apologize. We're live. We have another question. Where'd it go? Does VP of PR or secretary keep the releases?
In my club, the secretary keeps it. The secretary keeps everything, and they're getting their own training separately. But they should be keeping all of the member applications from, you know, beginning of time till now. It just goes from person to person, and I would just put the releases in that folder, because they are kind of the keeper of club documents.
Okay. Oh, by the way, Orange Upon a Time is in Orange County, and they emphasis on storytelling.
Orange, California. Yeah. Perfect.
Orange, California. Yes, Orange, California. How do we get the recording?
I don't know. I think Kristen is going to post it on the website.
Right.
Yeah. I'm just going to give it to her, and then it's going to be off and running with the district.
Right, right. So Nadia is recording it, and she will provide it to Kristen, and they will take care of however they plan on allowing access to it. Don't forget, if you missed out on the opening session, there is a recording for that. If you have a question, raise your hand or post it in the box. Otherwise, thank you so much for attending our session today. We appreciate you and your time and your commitment to serving your clubs and your community through Toastmasters. And Nadia, thank you for your presentation today as well. It was very informative, and I think we're all definitely better prepared. So thank you so much.
Wonderful. Thank you. Yes, thank you. It's been a pleasure having you. I'm so excited to see what you all do with your clubs this year. And if you do need additional training for another role that you may hold, just know that we're repeating all of this afternoon. We will have a short break so you guys can get something to eat. And then 12:30, we'll have another general session. And then we repeat all the club officer trainings this afternoon. So if you're holding dual roles, please come back in the afternoon to get trained for your other club. And it's been a pleasure having you today. Toastmasternadia@gmail.com. You can reach out to me if you have any questions regarding to PR or anything else. Because I've been a leader for so many years now, I can likely answer most of your questions. So feel free to reach out to me. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Nadia. You did a great job.
Nadia.
Thank you.
We do have a question.